Good morning.
Good morning, Father.
When was the last time you said these three words? I don't know. These words can be scary sometimes. We don't like to admit that we do not know something. We feel it will make us weak. Why? Because we all believe that knowledge is power. And if knowledge is power, it seems that not knowing is weakness. That is why not knowing can be seen as a deficit, can be seen as weakness. We think we should know. When we don't, sometimes we think that there is something wrong with us. So we pretend that we know. We nod and we smile. We fake it. We pretend, and so we say, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. See, the last thing you want to say during the job interview is, I don't know. The last thing you want to say on the final exam is, I don't know. But I would suggest that not knowing can be a strength and not a deficit. It is not easy to admit that I don't know something, but there is quiet strength when we do. When you say, I don't know. It frees you from the need to know everything and prove to others that you do. And when I can say, I don't know, it makes me curious and humble. No one is supposed to know everything. It's impossible. So of course there will be times in our lives that the only thing you can say is, I just don't know. And be comfortable with that. Jesus, in today's gospel, does precisely that. He says, I do not know. And he's not afraid to say it. He's not embarrassed to say it. He's not scared to say it. The disciples ask him a simple question. Luke tells us, when they asked him, Teacher, when will this happen? And what sign will there be when all these things are about to happen? He answered, See that you are not deceived. For many will come in my name, saying, I am he, and the time has come. Do not follow them. What Jesus is saying is basically this: I don't know when it will happen. And he is more explicit with this statement in the Gospel of Matthew when he talks about the end of time. He says, but of that day and hour no one knows, neither the angels nor the Son, but only the Father alone. Jesus is astonishingly comfortable with saying, I do not know. Now, today's second reading is taken from the second letter of St. Paul to Thessalonians. Why did Paul write the second letter to Thessalonians? Because in the first one, he got it wrong. Paul was convinced that Jesus would return in his lifetime. And that's what he told the church in Thessalonica, only to realize that he was wrong. So he writes the second letter, and basically he says, I don't know when he's coming back. That actually could be a good title for the letter, I don't know. You see, the truth is that people tend to have more respect for someone who admits they don't know everything than people who think they do or pretend they do. I genuinely think that in our own lives, we have to get comfortable with this simple phrase, I don't know. It's so important to be able to say that. Life is fast-paced, and you cannot keep up with everything. We are never going to be able to know everything about everything. You see, if you were to wait to do something only when you are 100% sure you would succeed, you would accomplish very little. In science and in education, you must be clear about what you know and what you do not know. I think actually there is power in admitting you don't have all the answers. There's great power in that. It makes us humble. It opens the doors to curiosity, which is to say, me trying to find the answer. It makes you real because everyone can identify with not knowing. It may be the most honest answer that you will give at one particular moment. Sometimes the best and most honest answer is to say, I don't know why God is not answering my prayers. I just don't know. I don't know why it went wrong. I don't know what the future will bring. I don't know how to fix it right now and right at this moment. I don't know if it will work. I don't know if it is the right thing to do or not. You see, life is filled with what I would like to call these clouds of unknowing. You know, many philosophers and poets knew that. Throughout history, they have acknowledged one simple fact, that the more you learn, the more you realize how little you know. Because we all stand before the great mystery called life. The great mystery called God. The great mystery called human existence. The great mystery of the universe. You cannot know everything. Life is complex. It's not black and white. It's not either or. It's challenging at times to simply know, to figure it out, to predict the future, to be sure 100%. I would say that today's gospel is inviting all of us to never be afraid to just say, you know what? I don't know. And to be comfortable with saying that. It makes us honest. It makes us humble. It makes us human. I actually believe not knowing is not a deficit. It's not weakness. It can be strength. It is important to be able to say that in our professional life, in our family life, in our relationships and friendships, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to help you. It's important to say that in our relationship with God. There is quiet power and strength in these three simple words. I don't know.